Hey, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Daily Brew, your morning pick-me-up. I'm Pastor Art. I am the pastor for the Naples Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I want to welcome you again to one more session of our daily devotionals. When you read Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, you have a very similar account of what happened at the beginning of time. Both chapter 1 and chapter 2 deal with the context of creation. But chapter 1 and chapter 2 differ slightly in the manner of how God is depicted. In chapter 1, you have God who commands things to appear and to exist. In chapter 2, you now have a different story where you have the verbs are stronger, and it gives the perception that God is getting his hands dirty in creating this world. Another interesting difference between chapter 1 and chapter 2 is that in chapter 1, you have God's pronouncing that everything was good at the very end of each day. In chapter 2, you have, for the very first time, God not very thrilled with the results of what happened, especially in day number 6. In day number 6, we have the creation of Adam, where God molded, where God built him. But then after a while, you see that God says this: it is not good for man to be alone. For the first time, God is not happy with what he's created. And so God puts him into a deep sleep, opens up his rib, and inserts his hand and takes out one of his ribs. And literally, as the Hebrew word says, he built Eve with his own bare hands. The God that I see in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 are the same. An all-powerful, loving creator. But chapter 2 gives us another glimpse into the reality of who God is. He's a personal God, a God who wants to be involved, a God who wants to be a part of, who is willing to get his hands dirty to make sure that you are a happy individual. I pray that you begin to see God in that light. A God who is personable and wants to get his hands dirty for your benefit. May God continue to bless you as we learn to see God as a personal, loving creator.